It's 1966. A small Pontiac Sprint accelerates down the quarter mile, but under its hood isn't just any engine. It's running technology that Ferrari charges luxury prices for. Technology that Mercedes-Benz guards like a state secret. And Pontiac, they're selling it in a car that costs less than $3,000. This is the story of how a scrappy engineering team at Pontiac did what Detroit said was impossible. They built America's first mass-produced overhead camshaft engine. They proved the critics wrong. They dominated racetracks. And then, they watched it all disappear. This is the untold story of the Pontiac OHC6, the engine that should have changed everything. To understand why this engine mattered, we need to go back to 1960s Detroit. The big three are locked in a horsepower war, but there's a problem. A big, expensive, heavy problem. See, American automakers have one philosophy: bigger is better. Want more power? Add more cylinders. Add more displacement. But in 1965, a new customer is walking into dealerships. Younger, hipper. They don't want their father's Oldsmobile. They want something that can corner, something efficient, something that proves you don't need 8 cylinders to have fun. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, European manufacturers are laughing at American engineering. Their secret weapon? The overhead camshaft. Instead of push rods and rocker arms, the camshaft sits right above the valves. It's lighter, it's more efficient, it revs higher, it makes more power per cubic inch. But every time an American engineer proposes it, the bean counters shut it down. Too expensive, too complicated. Americans don't care about sophisticated engineering. Except at Pontiac, there's a man who refuses to accept that answer. His name is John DeLorean. John DeLorean isn't your typical Detroit executive. He's young, ambitious, and he actually listens to engineers. In 1965, he's Pontiac's chief engineer with a vision. Pontiac has been building its reputation on performance. The GTO is printing money, but DeLorean sees the future, and it's not just about brute force. The government is coming with emissions regulations. Fuel economy will matter, and if Pontiac doesn't innovate, they'll be left behind. DeLorean greenlights a radical project. Engineer Malcolm "Mac" McKellar leads the charge. The mission? Take Pontiac's existing 230 cubic inch inline-six and transform it. Not just improve it, transform it. The team strips away the conventional pushrod system. They design a new cylinder head with a single overhead camshaft. They add a timing belt, a technology so exotic in America that most mechanics have never seen one. They redesign the combustion chambers for better breathing. The result? The Pontiac Sprint OHC6, officially known as the 230 OHC. On paper, it's incredible. The base version makes 165 horsepower. That might not sound impressive today, but remember, this is from just 230 cubic inches with a single 4-barrel carburetor. The power per cubic inch ratio rivals European sports cars, costing 3 times as much. But the real party piece? The Sprint option, 207 horsepower, a 6,000 RPM redline. From a 6-cylinder engine you can order in a Tempest. Detroit has never seen anything like it. Car and Driver calls it the most advanced American production engine. Motor Trend puts a Sprint on their cover. Here's an American manufacturer, they say, finally thinking like Europeans, finally building an engine that values sophistication over cubic inches. You could get the OHC6 in several models. The Tempest, the Firebird when it launched in 1967, even the Pontiac Acadian in Canada. Prices started at just $2,759. But Pontiac's engineers weren't satisfied with just building a sophisticated street engine. They wanted to prove it could win races. Enter Jim Wangers and the Tiger Racing program. Pontiac homologates special sprint models for SCCA racing. They build limited edition variants with hotter cams, modified heads, and racing exhausts. These engines scream past 7,000 RPM and produce over 230 horsepower in competition trim. Pontiac Sprint 6s dominate their class in Trans Am racing. They embarrass imports costing twice as much. Suddenly, that inline-six isn't just sophisticated, it's dangerous. But here's what makes this story heartbreaking. While the OHC6 is winning races and earning rave reviews, something else is happening in showrooms. Almost nobody is buying them. The Pontiac OHC6 had 3 fatal problems, and they had nothing to do with engineering. This is the peak of the muscle car era. Kids are walking into Pontiac dealerships dreaming of 400 cubic inch V8s. They want rumbling exhausts and tire smoke. They want GTOS, not inline-sixes. No matter how sophisticated the technology, a 6-cylinder engine just isn't cool. Pontiac tries. They call it the Sprint. They race it. They advertise the advanced technology. But for most buyers, 6 cylinders equals economy car. Remember those emissions regulations DeLorean predicted? They're coming, but not yet. In 1966, buyers don't care about fuel economy or efficiency. Gas is cheap. Horsepower is everything. The OHC6 is an answer to a question America isn't asking yet. Your average American mechanic in 1966 has been working on pushrod 5/8 their entire career. They know these engines inside and out. Then along comes this Pontiac with a timing belt and an overhead cam. They don't know how to service it. Parts are hard to get. Timing belt replacements are expensive. Dealership service departments complain. Customers complain when they get repair bills. Word spreads the OHC6 is complicated and expensive to maintain. It's the classic innovator's dilemma. Build something too far ahead of its time, and the market isn't ready for it. Production numbers tell the story. In 1966, Pontiac builds about 36,000 OHC6 engines. By 1967, it's down to under 20,000. The writing is on the wall. After the 1969 model year, Pontiac quietly discontinues the OHC6. It's replaced by conventional pushrod engines. Cheaper to build, easier to service, more profitable. The total production run? Approximately 80,000 engines across 4 model years. For context, Pontiac built millions of conventional V8s in the same period. The overhead cam revolution that DeLorean envisioned? It doesn't happen. Not in the 1960s anyway. But here's the twist. Fast forward to today. What engine design dominates the automotive world? Overhead cams. Double overhead cams, actually. Every modern performance engine, from Honda Civics to Ferrari supercars, uses the same basic technology Pontiac pioneered in 1966. The OHC6 was right. It was just decades too early. Today, surviving OHC6 engines are prized by collectors. A clean Sprint Firebird or Tempest commands serious money. Why? Because people finally understand what Pontiac built. A genuinely advanced, sophisticated engine in an era of blunt force engineering. Engineers who worked on the project would go on to influence American automotive design for decades. The lessons learned from the OHC6 inform future performance engine development across General Motors. And John DeLorean? Well, his willingness to take risks and challenge conventional thinking would eventually lead him to leave GM and start his own car company. That story, as we all know, had its own dramatic arc. The Pontiac OHC6 stands as a monument to a simple truth. Being right isn't enough. You also have to be right at the right time, for the right market, with the right support structure. It's a reminder that innovation isn't just about engineering brilliance. It's about timing. It's about market readiness. It's about having an infrastructure that can support your vision. But it's also a story of courage, of engineers and executives willing to try something radical, even when the safe path was obvious. They failed commercially, sure, but they proved it could be done. They showed that American engineers could match European sophistication when given the chance. And maybe that's the real legacy of the OHC6. Not the sales numbers or the profit margins, but the simple act of trying, of refusing to accept that American cars had to be crude and simple, of believing that customers might want something better, even if they didn't know it yet. Today, overhead cams are everywhere. They're in your Honda, your Ford, your Chevrolet. Every time a modern engine screams to 7,000 RPM, it's using technology that Pontiac brought to America's masses in 1966. The Pontiac OHC6 didn't change the world when it arrived, but maybe in the end, it changed the world anyway, just not on the timeline anyone expected. This has been the story of America's first overhead cam engine, the revolution that almost was, and the legacy that never died.